Exactly. You know,
so, Mike, I suppose go with yourself. I mean, tell us a little bit about your journey, shall we say, over the last month or so, and you know, let people know what it was all about, and the people that don't know, and you know, and you sort of tell us about you know, the journey itself, how difficult it was, and some days in that you had on that journey.
We talking about the running now, yeah?
Yeah, we're talking about your running.
Yeah, no, do you know what? More than anything, it's like, don't get me wrong, like you like my calves, my hips started giving me some mag, and my knees, like my joints were aching. But mentally, that was the toughest thing. Just mentally knowing, like, that you had to get up and go again the next day. Do you know what I mean? I remember, I think it was the 17th, my wife's birthday, 17th of August. So I got up at midnight and I thought, let me just fly through 17 miles as quick as I can. Just so I can get back in at whatever, 3-4 o'clock and relax for a little bit. Just lay in the bed for a little bit because we're going to go off to work during the day. And I remember finishing that and like just thinking, I don't think I can get up tomorrow. Like, I don't think I can go and do 18 the next day. But then it's weird, like, you just, like, the alarm would go off, I'd wake up and I'd just be like, I've got to get up. Shoes go on, I walk for a little bit, then I start running, and then once I start moving, I'm in my stride, and then I was all right. I think, like, people say I'm crazy because a lot of the running I do at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, but I prefer it because nothing's on the road, so I can just run on the roads. There's no traffic, it's not stop and start. As I got deeper, and certain days I had to do it in the evenings, then it started to get really tough. And then you get into like a traffic light and you're trying to move, but you can't move how you was, and then you can feel like your legs are getting really, really heavy and things like that. And then like standout days, like the 29th of August, my good friend got married. I was a groomsman on the day. So we played on the Saturday at Waltham Abbey. Also, like, this is how the day went. So I got up in the morning, done 28 miles. Then we've gone up. We've had a game at home. We've drew that. As soon as the game's finished, I've hung about in the club till 6. And I've had to shoot off to Brighton for the wedding. Got down there. But the wedding was on the Sunday. So I've got down there for the evening. My missus is already there. Everyone's like having a drink. Like, oh, the wedding's going to be lovely tomorrow. And I'm just looking at the area thinking, where am I going to do 29 miles? And then I've had to get up early. I got up about 4:30 on that morning, smashed out 29 miles, then slept for a little bit. Then I had to get up and get all my bits on groomsmen stuff and all that. Then we've done the wedding reception, gone to sleep, woke up and drove down to Romania on the Monday. We've played that game, finished that game, gone home, literally parked the car up, changed into my running bits, and just went out and done 30 miles. So it was mental. So, but for people who don't know what it was, basically I was just running as many miles as the day. So on the 1st of August, 1 mile, 2nd of August, 2 miles, 3rd, 3, and it goes right through to the 31st, which was Tuesday gone, which was 31 miles. I was doing that for a charity, so the Kiyan Prince Foundation, which is, I don't know if you remember, there was a play. He played for QPR. He was in the academy, Kiyan Prince. I think he was 14 at the time, and there was like an altercation outside of his school. And he's just tried to stick up for one of his mates, basically, who was kind of getting picked on. And then the other person kind of took it as a disrespect, and then he stabbed him, and he just died on the scene. And then his dad set up the Kiyan Foundation, and they just kind of deal heavily around sort of engaging young people, trying to combat gun and knife crime. And I'm a London boy, born and raised. Fortunately, I haven't been in and amongst like knife crime like that, but you kind of people, or you've been in altercations where knives have been involved, that type of thing. So it's something that I am passionate about, and about children. So I wanted to do some type of challenge, and then I just thought if I could make some money for a charity or, you know, sort of spread awareness alongside it, then that would be good. And that's kind of how the journey came about. And then, yeah, I just thought, let me document it. And then as the days went by, I think people started to really take notice of what was happening. And like, even like people stopped me. I was at a festival on Saturday because we didn't have a game. And like people coming up to me and going, yeah, like you're Michael, I saw you on Twitter. How are you here? How are you even standing? And yeah, I don't know how I am, to be fair, but yeah, we got there.
So, Mike, just for the people, how many miles do you do in total?
496.
Wow.
So I worked it out. So basically, from London to Scotland, it's 470. So it's the equivalent of me running from London to Scotland, getting to Scotland, and then doing a marathon.
Wow. Craig, did he ever run that far for you? You're just on mute, mate.
No, he's going crazy as well. Unmute it, Gaffer.
Unmute yourself, Craig.
Craig,
So
you're
there'd be people there'll be people going, that's the best 30 seconds they've ever heard Craig speak. I tell you, I can lip read. He said about you flying up and down the wing.
I hope so.
No, I said I couldn't get him to run up and down the wing, let alone run to Scotland. But no, I, you know, fair play. I didn't even know because I've sort of departed Twitter. But someone told me about it last week, and it's absolutely incredible. And you know, fair play to you. That is an amazing achievement. And you know, and I'm sure it's something that you're really proud of, and a lot of people are proud of you who know you that you've done it. You know, because it's fantastic.
Yeah. And Mike, just for the course, have you got a Just Giving page you want to put out? And obviously Dave will put it out on the show for people to contribute, because it's obviously an unbelievable thing that you've just done for a great worthy cause.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't like what I'll do. I'll send it, Dave. So if you can just post it up, because I don't know how to like say it off the top of my head. But yeah, like it's as I said, like initially, I just think people kind of didn't know or didn't pay attention as to what was happening. I think, you know, like sometimes people just like things without actually kind of taking it in. And as I said, as it started to get, especially the last week, it started to pick up a lot of traction. So from like 23, 24, 25, people started like, hold on a minute. And then they've gone back and had a look at what I've done. And people were messaging me saying, I've just come back and realised what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, the donations started sort of just skyrocketing. Yeah.
Well, it's all about a campaign, Craig. This is the campaign me and Dave can start. If we can get every non-league club to donate £10 for your cause. Dave, there we go.
Yeah,
there's the campaign. Every non-league club, let's get it spiraling.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. But I mean, how did you know, Mike, you know, you get to that stage where you're sort of like up to, you know, maybe 12, 13, 14 miles. And you said there in some of those days there, you was really hurting. I mean, where was the, you know, determination then to, you know, when you was maybe doing that last half a mile or whatever on that day and you're in absolute pain and you think to yourself, Struth, tomorrow I've got to go in and do 1 mile further than I'm doing today. I mean, you said mentally tough. I mean, you've got to be mentally tough to be able to come and do something like that.
You know what? It's weird because no, you do, but I don't look at myself as mental. Like I know I'm strong, but I don't know. I think people probably look at me and think I'm stronger than I think I am. But I don't know. Just when you're in the moment doing things, you just kind of do it, I suppose. But it was like for me, like my missus. And to be fair, my mum as well, they like every day my mum would message me every morning and say, you've done enough now. Like, I'm proud of you. Go out again. Like, she thought I was like, kind of like something bad would happen to me. My missus, the same thing. A few of my friends would be like, when you're running, if you put your location on, like live location on WhatsApp, so if it stops moving, then I'm going to come out and find you and things like that. But like my missus, she'd always, because like I said, I'm up early, so I'd get up, leave, And every day I'd come back, somehow she knew I was back. And she'd sit up, look at me, and she'd just do this. She'd just keep doing that. And if I did that, then she knew, like, yeah, I'm good, we completed it. So she'd jump up, she'd do this, I do that, she goes, and then she'd go to sleep.
So did you do the same sort of route then, or did you change your routes every day? I mean, I know you was an extra mile longer, but I mean, did you actually sort of change your routes or anything like that?
Do you know what I did? Initially, I kind of just, I thought, well, let me go out, let me go this way, let me go that way, type thing. And then when I started to get into sort of like 17, 18, I'd just be like, all right, let me go sort of in and around central London, things like that. And then when I got to around, I think it was about mile 25, there was a day when I'd done like a big circle from like mine up, and I was up and around like the A406, and I just did like a big sweep. And when I'd done it once, it was roughly like sort of 10, 11 miles. So then I thought, oh, you know what? If I do that, because I knew I had sort of 30, 31 coming, I thought if I just do that a couple times, then I know I'm in a bit. And I think like when I started to do it like that way, it made it it felt a bit easier for me, just because I knew where I was going. I didn't have to keep clock watching. So I knew roughly, like time-wise, roughly where I was at. But the toughest day, as I said, when it was my friend's wedding, because we was in Brighton, and it was kind of like a festival sort of theme. So we stayed overnight. We was in these tents, which was on site. So it was cold. When I mean cold, it was freezing. And when the alarm's gone off, it went off at 4:30, and I remember I jumped out of the tent, and it's freezing. I've unzipped the tent, and it's pitch black. You can only see the lights that are actually on the tents. There's maybe 15 or 20. And first thing I thought was, I can't do this, because I didn't know what I was going to do. And then I thought, you know what, Mike, you're going to be a groomsman in like 8, 9 hours. You're going to have to get this done. So I got up, went outside, and it was like literally maybe 200 yards, about 200 meters, like a little kind of path that I found. I put the torch on, and for the first hour, I just did that for 1 hour. Worst thing I've ever done in my life. And I just kept thinking, I just have to do this, I have to do this. Then the light started to come up. When it started to come up, I started to come out onto the roads, and it was like country roads. Then I found like a little town, and I just went up and down for about 2.5, 3 hours. Then I started to run back in. And then when I got to the end on that one, I honestly, I was holding back tears, because I didn't think, like, I just remembered waking up, opening the tent, thinking, I can't see nothing, I don't know where I am. And like, I looked at where I was going to have to run for an hour. And I just thought, yeah, to get that one out the way, I thought, yeah, bring on 30, 31. I felt like.
I thought you was going to say you ran and tripped over and took a lot of tents down, but that would have been a good old story to add as well. But is it something you're going to carry on doing, Mike, the running?
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, probably. It's just every now and then I just saw it, and I thought, you know, that looks like a good challenge, that would push me. So I'm always kind of looking for something new. So I'm looking again, but because people say, keep messaging, you know, you need to rest, which I definitely do. But at the same time, it's like when you do it, you realize like it conditions your body as well. So I was speaking to someone yesterday, and I was saying, like, I know a lot of people like do like 5Ks, 10Ks and things like that. But having done that, I don't think I could just get up and run a 5K. Like, because my body just feels like, I think like to feel like I've done something, I would need to get up. I think if I'm going to run, I think minimum it's got to be sort of between 10 and 15 miles for me to feel like I've done something.
I'm tired thinking about it. I don't know about you, Craig.
Well, I was going to say to him, I would have been up for doing August the 1st with him. Might have struggled.